How you doing, YouTube? Just getting an update here. I had a couple of people ask me about an update on the tank and the stock and the filtration. I did do a little bit of changes here and there. As far as the tank itself, I've had a lot of people ask me why all blue. And like I said, that was just, I was in the building phase. Everything is work in progress and everything takes time. But I did decide to go ahead and give it a three-tone color scheme and sort of match my room. And I did the viewing side as well. I'm overall pretty pleased with the end result. Came out pretty good. Just drafted a design on paper and decided to go with it. That way we break up what's the tank and what's actually the stand. I didn't do this side though, I didn't feel there was a need to. So since the last video, I did add a lot more driftwood, and because of that I have a lot of tanning going on, but it'll clear up eventually. It's enough water volume here and I do enough water changes, so eventually it will clear up. Just decided to add a little more landscaping as far as driftwood itself. I didn't want to put too much in here because I like all the free swimming space that the fish have. And I did decide to go ahead and use my floating media that I've had a lot of, and I just never got around to using it. I took 2 3-liter bottles. I put one there, and I put another one way back there. I don't know if you can see it. So there's one in each corner. You can't view it since this panel here is hiding where it's mounted at, so you can't see either one of them. But it is doing a great job of building me some beneficial bacteria. I just put these on yesterday, so it'll take some time to turn brown. I've got some little glass fish ornaments just to keep the weight of the 3-liter down. And I used a fishing line just to wrap around and go straight up, and it's just holding in place pretty perfect. So normally this sand is pretty white, but again with the driftwood that I added, there's a little bit of tanning going on, so it looks yellow. I did add some red Severums. I decided to go back to them. Take some time for this little guy to get fully red. I still have my Uarus. They're scattered about. The air is starting to get pretty nice. Their size is growing up as well. Now the fish are still hiding, most of them. I did add I have probably now about 20 dention barbs. Some of these guys are at least 3 to 4 inches. They're all going to go pretty nice and big. But I got rid of most of the other fish that were in the previous videos and just decided to stay with this stock right here. All these guys seem to get along pretty well. I don't have any aggression going on, thank God, because it's a little bit of work to get in here and catch a fish just to take them out. So right now everybody's pretty content and I'm pretty satisfied. And as far as the filtration goes, I did make some minor changes. I did have micro socks in here, but honestly guys, it's just too much work. they with this much water flowing through, water volume passing through these PVC pipes, these are 2-inch pipes, it seems like every week I have to clean them out. So I decided to buy these knee-high socks you can get at a dollar store, and I think I left this viewing panel off so that I can see what's going on here and do some maintenance. But these things from the dollar store seem to work better for me. Relatively super cheap, and I just put a rubber band and attach it to it, and it does just as good. Probably not as efficient as a micron sock, but it works pretty good for me. So I have all of them hooked up to them, and as you can see, they were white, and they start out pretty small, but they expand, and they can expand pretty far. So I think I'm just gonna go this route instead, and I don't even really have to worry about these. Once I see them expand to like a giant balloon, then I decide to change them out. But this one right here has been running these probably three, maybe 4 weeks, and it's doing an awesome job in my opinion. So I'm gonna just go with these. Again, you can use any of them, but this was at the local dollar store, and they're perfect. So I did add vinyl tops to all my lids, just to keep the evaporation down even more. Coming over here, I put vinyl tops on all of it, and this just makes it a lot more efficient for me. The water evaporation is even slower now, and overall I like it. Everything is pretty good. I went with all lava rock here, and this is just lava rock from Lowe's. I think a bag costed me $5. I can't honestly remember, but I couldn't even use all of it. It was too much, and it's perfect for me. And over here I did have the BioHome Ultimate media here in a separate tray, but I took that out as I felt like I didn't really need it with all the biological things going on in this sump and in the tank. So I just bought some regular sized lava rock and some garden stones, garden rocks at a local earth source, and decided just to make a weighted barrier here, so that when this sponge decides to eventually when it gets clogged, it starts to bow out slightly, and the water rises here, but it'll still stay low here. So I cleaned this out yesterday, but this sort of stops that from happening, so it won't really move any more than it already is. So, but decided just to stay with one sponge instead of the several that I had, and this one is just perfect for me for what I need. Building enough biological material there. You can see where the other line used to be. This was all brown, so we just had to clean it out really well. And over here, the water just comes through and makes its way to the pumps. In case you're wondering, I have this pump here to circulate the water, so I don't have any stagnant water just kind of floating here. It'll just circulate the water and keep everything nice and smooth in check. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have an FX5 in the back there. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. All of these access panels, I made them readily accessible so that I can just take them out. And that's where my FX5 is located. And here's the sub, of course. Interesting thing about these DC pumps is that they have a remote, and I can slow or increase the speed of how much gallons per hour I want. Right now I have it set at a halfway setting, but I can increase it and it'll shoot even more water up above, which is pretty cool. These pumps are pretty awesome. I recommend them to anybody who needs them. Looking to buy, you know, submersible pumps. These are pretty nice. They cost a little bit more than the average, but you know, if you want some good pumps that are going to last you and to give you a lot of versatility as far as options of how much flow you want, these are pretty good. I recently added 3 air pumps to push this guy right here, and the one over there is one in the corner, and the bubbles that are going to the back, and because of that I'm hearing a slight more humming than I normally would. The tank was usually pretty quiet, but since I added these air pumps, I can hear a slight bit of humming, and I guess there's just no way around that, so I have to deal with that. But I'm contemplating whether I'm keeping these this K media here. We'll do a trial on it, see how it works out after a couple months, see how well it does. Eventually I'm going to make something a little bit bigger that's long, that goes all the way down, so I can use the rest of this media I have here. And but this is just a trial, just to see how they work and how efficient they are, and just give them a try. So there is the update to my tank, and a different scheme of color to give it a sort of not boxy look. The only thing different I did on top was I did build a I bought an LED strip. I think it was about 20 bucks, and I mounted it on a PVC pipe and used zip ties to mount it to the PVC pipe. And you can see right there, so it's not glued or anything, it's just a PVC pipe, an 8-footer, and or a 9-foot. I made this one 9 feet with the gutter guard, and just zip tied them all the way down. So the roll was able to supply me enough to do 2 9-footers. That was pretty cool. And it's just gutter guard is all it is, with the LED for when my timers, because I've got my tank set up on timers, and when the lights don't come on, I'll sometimes put on the LEDs. In case you're wondering how I connected 2 together, I just left them, I left the strip right here hanging out where, let's see if I can show you, it comes out of here and it just goes around and goes into the other one. The other two sides are capped off, but you can just see their LEDs. These are the adjustable ones. You can pick assortment of colors you want, all the way from white to several colors. But that's the reason I got them. I decided to leave this panel off back here just so that I can go back there sometimes and keep an eye on things if I need to. It doesn't really bother anything anyway, so once I turn off those lights, it's not really noticeable. So everything else is pretty much still the same thing here. I'm only using 3 of the 2-inch pipes. The other 2 in the back are always up for emergency, and I've got them adjusted where it's quiet. I can put them full, but then I'll hear a lot of backwash from the water gurgling with all that air being pulled in, so this keeps it quiet and efficient. And out here, in case you're wondering what this is, my mom bought this for me. Novelty little fishing lighter. It's a lighter, but I do plan to put a fishing line on it and try to feed my fish with it as soon as I get time. So this is my grow out tank, and what I do is I buy my assorted different types of Severums here, and I grow them out. So these red spotted ones right here, I'm going to get them a little bigger before I move them to the main tank. I've got some rod tails there I'm trying to grow out as well, and some they got one or two blue face turquoise Severums as well. So these guys are just growing out. Let me see if I get a better picture of them. Well, yeah, I want to hide today. The archer is there, but I already sold him, and the guy that's going to be taking him is just waiting until he grows up a bit. Man, this is just my grow out tank. It's a 125. I use it to grow the fish out, and once they get over a good size, I move them over. PVC sponge filter I made, one there and one over here, and with the 4 filters on the hang-on backs, and I got one canister down here. Water stays in good shape for them. And that's just a quarantine tank. So that is an update of my tank, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I covered everything had a lot of people asking about. Eventually I will move the Severums over. Looking for a couple more fish, and I think my stock is complete. Let all these fish here fully mature and get a good size. And they all seem pretty happy. Even the Fenestratus, who I thought of parting with, but he's actually really gentle, so the only reason why I kept him, surprisingly. Look at the gold and look at the red, you can see the difference. It might be a super red here. And that is an update on my tank, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, hit me up. Leave the comments and I will respond as quick as I can. Thanks for watching.